Hey everyone, on today's episode we're gonna be making some shrimp tacos. We're gonna start by making a simple lime cilantro aioli as a topping. You can skip this and just put lime on top. I did both because I like the extra little flavor that you get. But pretty much you're just gonna put some mayo into a blender, put some garlic, put a lot of lime. I did, I think, 2 or 3 limes for this, but it's something that you kind of just adjust as you keep making more, or as you keep tasting it later. So I started just by blending this stuff together. So next we put in a lot of cilantro, and then blend it again. And I did this until it was nice and smooth. You can definitely blend it less and then get a different texture. So next I'm gonna put in a little bit of avocado oil to loosen it up a little bit. If you already like the texture of it, then you can skip that. I didn't show it, but I kept adjusting the flavor of the aioli. So I have a few different options for the shrimp. So the one option is just to saute it like this in a pan and then put a little cilantro or put a little lime at the end. That's all I did for this one. And then just toast the tortillas on the open flame. You can also do this in a pan, but I think it tastes better when you do this. Just be careful not to burn yourself and do not touch it with your hands unless you know that you can. It does get very hot and you're just gonna toast them a little bit. That's all you need to do. And then to assemble it, all you have to do is put on your shrimp, put on some thinly sliced onion like this. The cilantro, and then finally the cilantro aioli. So here's some other things you can do that I think make it taste really good. So here is just a tortillas recipe. This is the same recipe as from my dough series, so if you want to go watch that, it's also on the channel. So pretty much it's just flour, butter, water, and salt. So you're just gonna add half a cup of butter to your flour until you get this cornmeal texture, and then you add your salt and water until it comes together. I had to keep adding more and more water, or I had to keep adding more and more flour because this was a little too much water. But you always want to start with too much water and then bring it down to a lower hydration by adding more flour. And this is just some lukewarm water. You just keep kneading until you get a texture that's pretty soft and something you can roll out and it's not going to be too sticky, but also something that's not going to be too hard to roll out and too dense and too thick. This is something that you kind of just need to do a few times until you get the right texture and the right ratios. For this one, I think I started with 3 cups of flour, half a cup of butter, and 2 cups of water, and then a tablespoon of salt. And then I obviously added more and more flour until I got something that was pretty smooth and was pretty easy to knead without sticking. This is the final texture that I settled on. It could have used a little more water or a little more flour, but I decided that it was going to be good, and it rolled out and cooked pretty well. So next you divide it into equal pieces, then you just roll them out, and you want to make sure that they get really thin. They should be thin enough that you can almost see through them. And then you would need to get your cast iron pan or comal really hot, so almost 500 degrees, or I did a little under that. And then all you're gonna do is put them in the pan, wait until they puff up, and then get a little bit charred. That's pretty much it. You end up with these tortillas, and they were really good. So instead of the sauteed shrimp, this is a really thin batter, and then you just fry the shrimp. So it's just some flour, whatever spices and seasonings you want. So I did some cumin, coriander, and some garlic powder. Oh, and dried cilantro. I kept it pretty simple, and I also put quite a bit of salt, because you want enough salt to season the shrimp. And make sure you go pretty generous, because this is a batter. I also put some lime juice and fresh cilantro too. And a little baking soda so that when it's frying, it puffs up and kind of steams the shrimp inside. And then you're just gonna add water until you get a pretty thin texture. You don't want it thick, and you want it almost like a tempura batter. It's gonna feel too thin, but that's kind of the point. So then you're just gonna coat your shrimp and put it into the hot oil, and that's pretty much it. You're gonna fry it until it's nice and golden brown, and you want your oil hot enough that when you drip a little bit of the batter in it, it starts to sizzle instantly, like this. So then you're just gonna fry up your shrimp. I recommend 3 shrimp per taco. You can do more, you can do less, but I like 3. These fry really quick since shrimp cooks really quick, so it's really not long to do it in the fryer. Once it's cooked, you just take it out and put it on a paper towel and let it drain. And then these are the tacos that are from the fresh tortillas and the fried shrimp. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.